Good morning. This is such a beautiful moment because the sun is coming up as we speak and it's shining directly into my face, and it's just a majestic moment. Today is Tuesday in South Australia and it's been a 3-day long weekend, so it's been a public holiday. And often on public holidays we have time to reflect, think and consider our place in the world. I have started a 4-day fast. I'm in day 2 and I'm following Dr. Berg, who I'll put in the comments, also looking at Autumn Bates' content, which is also very good. So if you'd like to join me, have a look in the comments. One of the reasons I'm doing a fast is I've moved to this home, which is a stunning, beautiful home. And with each day, I feel more and more settled here. I speak with you about the grief I experienced a couple of years ago and how I processed that grief. It has always been a dream of mine to live off-grid and to not depend upon council water, electricity. So I've reached that point where I would like to do that again, or attempt that again. The feeling of settling in this home provokes, for me, feelings of being connected to the earth, being grounded. Grief can be like a bomb that knocks us off our axis. So if you can imagine the globe or the world going around the sun, it can knock us off so that we're like dizzy for months or years. Do you ever have that feeling with grief, that you feel dizzy, unsure of your boundaries? One of the variables, or a couple of the variables of getting your axis back in line with the planets, is health, and looking at what health means. Health, or one of the foundations of health, is balance. Looking across the spectrum of health. I've gone without alcohol for 4 days twice, and this time I'm going to go for 4 days, and I'm likely to go a lot longer without alcohol because I enjoy the clarity and the sharpness it brings to one's mind, and I find that it helps me reflect with greater clarity on the past. We talk about reflecting on the past, and where's my bulletproof coffee? I've got a bulletproof coffee today. I think those of you who've watched me for a while know that I love bulletproof coffee, which is black coffee. It's a teaspoon of plant-based butter and a teaspoon of organic coconut oil with coffee, and I just love starting the morning that way. Now I've lost my train of thought. I cannot remember what I was talking about. Trauma can knock us off our axis. So when we look at how to reboot ourselves, ground us with the earth, we look at several variables. One of the variables is ritual. Having meaningful rituals that we follow through. So for me, it is burning a candle, taking 10 minutes in the morning to meditate, yoga twice a day, short bursts. I like short bursts because it's achievable. And once we get into long periods of anything, is this truly achievable in our normal life? Yes, we've talked about that word, normal. I'm having a fast now as a foundation to me realigning with who I am and reminding myself of my true values and giving me the reminder, or helping me to reset the reminder to give pause before responding. I'm a counsellor. I've got 2 spare sessions if anybody wants them. Being the first day after a long weekend, there is a lot of emails for me to look at, a huge amount of emails. And I always feel a sense of respond to these emails because I don't have anyone that works for me at this point. I may need to change that. So I take pause to remind myself of who I am. I'm a counsellor so that I can serve the greater well-being and health of others. If I become anxious about the number of emails, then I'm not going to be serving you at my optimum level. So I meditate before responding to emails, and I always choose when to respond to emails. I never respond to emails throughout the day anymore because I want to cleanse my mind in between. I've sort of set this a little bit low, so I'm kind of slumping down to speak to you so that we can share the experience of the candle here. Outside, I'm going to have to take you outside in a minute. The cockies have got up and they come up from the valley, and it's more than magical. It is incredibly healing. There is something about this house that is incredibly healing. We're talking about the variables, so we talked about ritual, routine, the ability to repeat patterns of behaviour that reflect your values. Consider, do your patterns of behaviour truly reflect your values? Walking, looking after the heart, always doing some jumping, depending on your joints and history of illness, doing jumping. Check your blood pressure and your insulin levels each day. Be aware of your sugar intake. Focus on unprocessed foods. I found that when I experienced trauma, and it was like being knocked off my axis, all this became challenging. I like to focus on minimalising. I like to focus on going off grid, which was difficult living in the city of Melbourne. I like to focus on my health, my holistic health, being able to cleanse my soul. And experiencing significant grief or trauma made it difficult. In the last couple of days, I've been sorting through my boxes. So when life did not go to plan 2.5 years ago, I moved several times and took boxes with me. Boxes including my parents' things, and I've just found my brother's last letter. So that is a process as well, to read his final letter to us all. It's very humbling to read that letter. In life, I don't think we generally have the luxury of just meditating and doing yoga or stretching or mobility and eating clean foods each day. Some of us can't afford it, some of us have particular responsibilities. But wherever possible, it is useful to have a reboot where we look at our rituals and why we follow certain rituals and the health of rituals. I'll be talking about that in the next few days. Eating well, occasional fasting with education. So check out Eric Bergs. It is just beautiful here. Just beautiful. I'm going to do a series of videos on the variables of well-being that I will be nurturing at the moment. If you're interested in any one of these, please let me know. They've suddenly gone silent. I'll let you know how I go with my 4-day fast. This is day 2. Oh my goodness. I start recording and then the cockies it's like a spell has been podcast. I've got a piece of content that's almost ready to go up, so that's exciting. I'm thinking about changing the name of my podcast. It's currently called Sleep Meditation with Lauren Rostowski-Fenton. I probably will call it Sleep Meditation and Quiet Talks, or Reflective Talks, or Talks on Wellbeing, Holistic Talks, Talks on Cleansing the Soul, something like that. I'm going to think about it. I can feel the need to meditate come over me. Take pause today. Notice the space between your true self and when you get pulled into the moment, and just honour that space prior to being pulled into the moment, that moment where you need to go to work, need to get the kids up, make lunches, make that reactive call that sometimes happens during the day. Our true self exists in the pregnant pause between the discretionary, when we consider our reaction, we respond, and the reactive, our response. You're welcome to join me on this fast or ask me questions about this. I'd be delighted to answer your questions. I'm going to take you out so you can enjoy the ambience with me. Do you want to come out with me? Come on, let's go. Okay. Join me here. I'll just unlock the doors. Isn't that just beautiful? They're very intelligent birds, cockatoos. Just beautiful. Have an awesome day, or a sound sleep if it's nighttime. Love you all.